and welcome to Kay's Cakes, the show where I veganize your favorite recipes. Today we are going back to the MCU Bake-a-Thon. It's time for Thor. Alright, so when I was trying to think of what I wanted to make for Thor, I was thinking of really kind of heavy flavors that are going to be able to carry themselves, be worthy of Mjolnir, I'm pretty sure is how you say it. So we are going with a chocolate espresso martini because chocolate and coffee are two very strong flavors, and also who doesn't love a little vodka in their desserts? Alright, so for this bake, you're gonna need about 7 ounces of dairy-free dark chocolate. Baking chocolate is perfect for that. Some instant coffee powder, a can of chickpeas or other white bean that's in water, maple syrup, vodka, coffee liqueur or dark rum. Either will work. A can of coconut milk that has been refrigerated for several hours, powdered sugar, and then optional toppings, cocoa powder, chocolate shavings, coffee beans, and that's it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is take my unsweetened baking chocolate. So this is 100%, which means it's like the darkest dark chocolate you can get. And baking chocolate generally has no dairy in it, of course, unless you are using milk chocolate. Now, these bars are only 4 ounces, so I actually had to get 2 of them because I need to chop up 7 ounces. So it shows you each one of the little rectangles is a 1/4 ounce. So we have 16 1/4 ounces, which means we have 4 ounces. So I'm just going to chop them up a little bit. So that's 4 ounces, and that's all going to go in my glass bowl, except for the ones that fell on the table. And then I need 3 more ounces. So we got about 7 ounces of chocolate. And the reason I am using specifically a glass bowl for this, for the chocolate, is because it is a better conductor of heat. Because what we're going to do, I'm going to go over to the stove and put this on a double boiler so it will melt. Okay, so double boiler, it sounds like 2 pots boiling or something, right? No, I just have 1 pot that is full of water that is boiling, and the steam is going to heat up the glass, which will melt the chocolate. There are, of course, other ways to melt chocolate, but this is just a little bit nice, like it'll keep the consistency a little bit nicer than putting it in the microwave. And I said glass because glass will hold the heat better than my plastic bowls. Of course, like a stainless steel bowl would be great for this. But yeah, it's just using steam heat to melt stuff. Super easy. Okay, so now we have our melted chocolate. And the reason it's important to melt your chocolate first is because you want to give it some time to cool before you mix it into everything else. But before it cools, you're going to add 1 teaspoon of your instant coffee powder. I'm just going to stir it in a little bit. So now we got some coffee chocolate. Alright, cool. I'm going to set that over there. Now, while that's cooling down, you gotta make the actual fluffiness of the mousse. So, instead of eggs, which is what you would normally use, like egg whites, we're gonna use aquafaba, which literally translates to bean water. So I have my can of chickpeas, and I'm gonna drain out the water and put it in my mixing bowl. Now, it can be kind of a funky flavor, so I don't really recommend it for anything that's gonna be too light on other flavors, but like I said, coffee and chocolate are both pretty strong, so I'm feeling good about this combination. Beat the aquafaba with your whisk attachment, either in a stand mixer or like a hand mixer like I have, until stiff peaks form. Okay, so our aquafaba is nice, light, and fluffy. Now we have to add some flavor to it. So we're gonna start with maple syrup, about 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. We'll go 1, 2, and 1 tablespoon of vodka. Really small amount, so you don't want to get drunk on your dessert. And 2 tablespoons of coffee liqueur. This is just flavoring syrup. 1, 2, and then whisk again to make sure everything is nicely integrated. Okay, so next step is to add the chocolate, which has cooled down a bit, and I'm going to gently fold it in as to not knock all the air out of that aquafaba mix. We're going to pour, and it's best to do this with a rubber scraper, whatever spatula as I have. I'm trying not to pour chocolate all over the table. Okay, there we go. And just fold, not stirring. Okay, there we go. Now, normally this would be served in martini glasses, hence the name, chocolate espresso martini, but we're going for a more Thor-like look with my tiny beer steins. It just feels more like Thor, plus you don't have to feel bad when you ask for another. And I'm just gonna gently spoon this in here. Try not to make a mess. Okay, now that our mousse is finished, we need a whipped cream for on top. Now, I've explored a couple different ways to make vegan whipped cream on the show already. We go all the way back to Iron Man. We used a pre-made almond milk, ready whip type thing. And in the Hulk, I did it with a non-dairy whipping cream. Now I'm going to show you how to make a whipped cream with coconut milk. So this has been in the fridge for not just a few hours, but a few days actually. So yeah, you're going to want to keep it in the fridge before you do this bake for at least a few hours. Because when I open it, I want it to be, if I can open it, let's see. Jeez, more like a can't opener. My coconut milk is solidified. This is exactly what we want. So I'm going to scrape all that solid stuff into my bowl. And there's going to be some water in the bottom. Leave it. You don't want that. Just the solid stuff. Smells like coconut. Okay. Didn't see the water. I don't want that. Okay, so there's that. And just a tablespoon of powdered sugar. There we go. Now I'm done with those. Okay. And I take my whisk again and whisk it up. There's your whipped cream. Easy peasy, right? So this is always good if you just want like a quick dessert with some good strong flavors. No bake time. Super simple. Okay. Ooh. It's a nice thick whipped cream. Just scoop that right on top. Look like little chocolate shots. And to decorate, do one with a little cocoa powder. One with a little chocolate shaving. So I have this ounce left over from earlier, and I'm just gonna take my vegetable peeler to get some chocolate shavings. Ah. There we go. And one with some nice coffee beans. Oh, that smells really strong. There we go. Ta-da! There is your chocolate espresso mousse, or martini. Chocolate espresso martini in a beer stein. Cheers! and that's it. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Comment down below a recipe you would like to see me try to veganize. Subscribe if you want to see more of the MCU Bake-a-Thon and other veganized recipes, and I will see you in the next one.